I watched precisely 0% of Trump's hate rally yesterday at Madison Square Garden. So this morning, I've been watching clips and reading up on things and just catching up. And this was a freaking doozy. So Trump had Hulk Hogan, Dr. Phil, Leon Tusk come up and speak at his hate-filled rally. He had this man named Tony come up and have a hate-filled comedy set where he was talking about Black people carving up watermelons.
All right, heck yeah, it's a cool black guy with a thing on his head. What the hell is that, a lampshade? Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. Wow. I'm just kidding, that's one of my buddies. He had a Halloween party last night. We had fun, we carved watermelons together. It was awesome.
Then it seemed like Tony wanted to coalesce all Puerto Ricans to go out and vote for Kamala because he called the island of Puerto Rico a some floating garbage or something like that. But he went to Twitter to defend himself, saying these people have no sense of humor. Wild that a vice presidential candidate would take time out of his busy schedule to analyze a joke taken out of context to make it seem racist. I love Puerto Rico. I vacationed there. I made fun of everyone. Watch the whole set. I'm a comedian, Tim. Might be time to change your tampon. So he is really trying to double down on that comedy set that he put out there.
It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, you know, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there. Again, normally I don't follow the national anthem, everybody. This isn't exactly a perfect comedy setup. It's absolutely wild to see. And in Texas, stuff is really, really crazy. We're right there by a wide open border. Where are my proud Latinos at tonight? You guys see what I mean? It's wide open. There's so many of them. It's absolutely incredible. Believe it or not, people, I welcome migrants to the United States of America with open arms. And by open arms, I mean like this. It's wild. And these Latinos, they love making babies too. Just know that.
Why are Republicans so nervous about the comments made at this Trump rally at Madison Square Garden? Well, it's because they targeted the very people in one of the very places that they need the most. I'm talking about the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Remember, Pennsylvania is a place Joe Biden won by just 81,000 votes in 2020. Donald Trump won by just 44,000 votes in 2016. It's close. A joke about Puerto Ricans, okay? In Pennsylvania, there are around 600,000 Latino voters. In Pennsylvania, there are around 300,000 Puerto Rican voters. One thing you will notice about both of these numbers, they are way higher than 81,000. That was the margin in Pennsylvania last time. Pennsylvania has the third highest Puerto Rican population in the country. And it's not just the number, it's where they are in the state. I can put this filter on and I can show you where this population is centered. And I'm going to circle the counties here. The darker the shade you see on this map, the greater the Hispanic population. These three counties here, these two counties here, you'll notice that these counties, 3 went for Joe Biden, 2 went for Donald Trump. They're some of the swingiest in this swing Commonwealth. I'll focus on just a few of them right here. You can see everyone knows Joe Biden's from Scranton, Lackawanna County. Biden won Lackawanna County, but barely. He had 53%. Nearby Wilkes-Barre is a county that Donald Trump won, but not by that much. The real story told down here, you look at Berks County, again, very close, almost 50-50. And in nearby Lehigh County, which is where Allentown is, people know the Billy Joel song, Allentown has often been seen as a key swing county in the entire country. Where Lehigh County goes, so goes America to an extent. Joe Biden got 53% here, increasing his margin that Hillary Clinton got in 2016. Lehigh County presses on 50% Hispanic population, large Puerto Rican population, so you can bet that the comments made at that rally are landing right here, one of the most crucial counties in the country.
I'm going to come back to Donald Trump's hate rally in just a moment. I just want to talk about who he seems to be courting. He went on Joe Rogan, and he seems like he is courting the disaffected male demographic, like the red pill manosphere type of bro. That seems like who he's going for.
Some of these women, they're so stupid. Some of these women, they're so stupid.
So he's trying to bring black men along, black men who are trying and whining about child support and abolishing child support. So he brings these baby daddies and men that are in the news for, misconduct of sorts. We got Antonio Brown, who was out here showing his member off to people in a pool. We got Le'Veon Bell, who is wearing Trump versus Trump, calling Kamala Harris a tramp, despite the fact that Trump is a known cheater, has baby mamas of his own. All of these men probably got about more than a dozen children, but, keep calling Kamala a tramp because, misogyny. Oh, we can't forget, he also had Lawrence Taylor, who is an ex-offender and on a registry up here at this rally as well. He's really trying to really bring in these washed up football players so that he can get the black male vote. Now let's get back to this hate rally from yesterday. He had Hulk Hogan, Phil McGraw, Dana White, Leon Tusk, and they all spoke for Donald Trump. Hogan returned to the venue where he performed years ago as a professional wrestler, seemed to reprise his character, emerging wearing a giant red, orange, and yellow boa, violently waving an American flag as he posed, danced. He spat on the stage during his speech, flexed his muscles repeatedly, and referred to those in the crowd as Trumpomaniacs during the event. Hogan says, "I don't see no stinking Nazis in here. I don't see no stinking domestic terrorists in here. The only thing I see in here are a bunch of hardworking men and women that are real Americans, brother." And I do want to remind us all that Hogan is on audio dropping the N-bomb and saying that he is kind of a racist. He's been a racist. So obviously that's the reason why he doesn't see this hate rally as stinking Nazis, and he doesn't see any domestic terrorists because that's all he sees. These are his people. He also blamed Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris for inflation. She acts like she's the victim, and then all of a sudden she flops, and she spins around and turns around, and she's act like she's going to be the damn hero. But we all know Trump is the only man that can fix this country today. Then Phil McGraw, the one who got put on because of Oprah, that Phil McGraw, who wouldn't have a career if it weren't for her, he took the stage arguing that folks who call Trump a bully are wrong because there's no imbalance of power between him and his opponents. When there's not, it's just called a debate, and he's just better at it than anyone else, he said. It's called debating, it's called arguing, even the name calling, but it's not bullying unless there's an imbalance of power. Whoever he talks to, they've got a microphone, they've got on their big boy pants, they've got a stage. He's just better at it. McGraw added that when Trump's opponents call him Schnittler or a fascist, that may be ugly, but it also isn't bullying. The last thing he needs is some celebrity endorsement. McGraw added, "What the hell do I know? I'm no celebrity to begin with, and celebrities don't know anything about policies or politics. So the only difference between me and them is I'm willing to admit it. So why am I here? I'm here to talk to and stand up for the people who have declared their support for Donald J. Trump, or they get found out, or they want to do it, but they're too intimidated. They get canceled, intimidated, marginalized, excluded, or even fired or boycotted." The thing is, this is about the only kind of lineup of celebrities that Trump is going to get. He doesn't even have the same people in his own party that have served with him, who have been the former politicians that are Republicans. He doesn't even have the endorsement of those people. He only gets these people on the fringes, like who's talking right now. Dana White took the stage to note he's been friends with Trump for decades. He said anyone who votes for Harris is supporting the status quo, and also addressed inflation and his support for cracking down on illegal immigration. I do want to remind us all that his wife Melatonin came in as an immigrant. She got pushed through on an Einstein visa, and she's not particularly smart, even though she has a hashtag be best. She's not particularly smart, but they do talk about immigration, and he has been married to a couple of immigrants. Just putting that out there. And then Elon Musk, who is a South African billionaire sitting on a pile of money, came out and talked. All right, it says Tusk came on stage wearing all black attire, including a black Make America Great Again hat. I'm not just MAGA, I am dark Gothic MAGA, Musk said, referring to his outfit. Musk, who has spent tens of millions of dollars to boost his campaign, went on to add that he could cut $2 trillion from the current U.S. budget. He's really trying to get some kind of position in this administration. All right, so then we have Melania Trump. The former First Lady was a surprise guest at Sunday's rally, introducing her husband, who took the stage 2 hours later. His remarks included a nod to the assassination attempts where he got a cut on his ear. This person that's called @NotHoodlum says, no one could understand a word that melatonin is saying, but it just cost Trump $500,000. All right, now this is a quote from Trump. If you become president of the United States, you got a hell of a shot at dying, he said. I never knew that when I ran. I never thought about it, but here we are, and I'm okay with it. And I would rather be here than any place in the world. It's called a very dangerous profession. But if we win, our enemies won't be laughing anymore. The lineup included Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance, House Speaker Mike Johnson, Tucker Carlson, who had a really weird rant last week calling Trump daddy, talking about daddy's home and going to spank his teenage girl or something like that. Really, really weird. Hashtag weird AF. Former presidential candidate RFK and disgraced former mayor Rudy Giuliani, who had to just give up millions of dollars worth of things, his old Mercedes, some watches, his penthouse, money that he hasn't even been paid by Trump, despite working for Trump because Trump doesn't pay his bills. What else? His New York Yankees paraphernalia. Yes, that Rudy Giuliani, that disgraced man who is now disbarred in New York, spoke at the rally as well. What a lineup Trump had. Here we have Melania helping this feeble, unhealthy Trump down the stairs. Now watch as he tries to go down. Watch how he limps right here. He is limping. He is not healthy. And she is really trying to get away from this man. I wonder if she got paid extra for this church lady kiss right here. Okay, I just had to put that in with Melania kissing Trump. Now, because of that racist tirade against Puerto Rico, it made some celebrities come out swinging and pushing, well, at least saying that they were endorsing Kamala Harris. We had Bad Bunny, J-Lo, Ricky Martin. Even Trump's former friend Geraldo Rivera came out and was pissed. He says a floating island of garbage, referring to Puerto Rico, poisoning the blood of our nation. We have murder in our genes. F these races. Latino men of goodwill, have pride in yourself and your ancestors. A vote for Trump is a vote against self-respect. Ariana Grande came out saying she voted for Kamala Harris in her stories. And I want to remind us all, Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, and that made Trump go on a tirade and put out in all caps, I hate Taylor Swift. And finally, I want to remind us all how JD Vance pushed a bunch of childless cat ladies into the column for Kamala Harris with this tirade with Tucker Carlson. I'm going to play that next, but join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Look, what I was basically saying is that we're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children. And how does it make any sense that we've turned our country over to people who don't really have a direct stake in it? I just wanted to ask that question and propose, but